This reminds me of this anime named Bleach, where it's 16 seasons. Every episode is about 18, 20 episodes. Sorry, every season is 18 to 20 episodes. And they have season 4 and 5. They have these bouts. They're villains of the whole thing in season 4 and season 5. The main characters are trying to get them out of soul society.
This man, a passenger in that car, frantic at the sight.
Oh my life. What it do with the business is, people, it's your boy That Way with Jack Travis to be precise, man. Now, you know how we do, you know we doing it. Back in the thing again, you understanding me, man? We got a couple topics to discuss today, man. But before I get into it, as always, if you like what I'm doing, man, like and subscribe to the content. Give me that algorithm and we will go accordingly, as I always say. Now, a couple of these topics, well, a couple of them are I guess you can call them joyous occasions, you know what I'm saying? Things ought to be celebrated. One of them not so much. And actually, one of them got some elements to it now. There's a death in it, so I don't want to be funny about that part, but the blunders and the way that individuals went about carrying out this plot, man, I just got to point out some wild, some nasty work within those confines. You dig what I'm saying? So, like I said, we got a couple of topics, man. A couple of big name people that you all definitely know about. We'll start with good news. Young Thug. Old Jeffrey, if you're not aware, the man was sent to the crib. From what I'm understanding, I think he has a couple of months still to serve, like 3 months. I thought that's what I heard the judge say, but I have a little video and we'll watch it together here in a minute. But, I'll give you the quick little read up. And it goes a little something like this. Fulton County Superior Judge Paige Reese Whitaker. And you'll note that Miss Whitaker replaced Earl Glanville, the bumbling idiot. He was a bumbling idiot. They may even take disbar him or something. He was a bumbling fool. But I digress. Judge Whitaker gave him a total of 40 years. Yeah, sentence of 40 years. The first 5 years were to be served in prison, but that was commuted to time served. Then he has 15 years on probation. Finally, a backloaded 20 years in prison will be commuted to time served if he complies with all of the conditions of his probation. If he doesn't complete his probation successfully, he will have to serve those 20 years in prison. Prosecutors want a Young Thug sentenced to 45 years with 25 years in prison and the remaining 20 on probation. The charges against him carried a potential maximum sentence of 120 years in prison, prosecutor Adrian Love said. Steele had asked the judge for a 45-year sentence with 5 in prison commuted to time served and 40 years on probation, which is wild work. 40 years of probation?
All right. So it is not lost on the court that the state, had they been able to come to agreement on certain special conditions, was willing to entirely dismiss the RICO count, was willing to entirely dismiss one of the gang counts, and was willing to entirely dismiss this, machine gun count. Was willing to give a sentence that permitted Mr. Williams to walk out of the door today, and therefore does not seem to be particularly worried that Mr. Williams, if on the streets, would be a danger to society. I'm taking that into consideration in crafting my sentence. And in permitting a NOLO plea to the RICO count and one of the 2 gang counts, I would not be permitting the NOLO to the one if you were not pleading guilty to at least one of them. But you are, and y'all admit a factual basis for the counts that you are pleading guilty to. I find there to be a factual basis for those counts, and for the remaining counts with which you are charged. I am going to impose a sentence, and I've taken a little bit of the suggested special conditions from the defense and a little bit of the special conditions suggested by the prosecution. On count one, the court sentence is 20 years to serve 5 years, commuted to time served, the balance of 15 years to be probated, and a $25,000 fine. On count two, the sentence is 5 years to serve, commuted to time served. That's the minimum sentence that's permitted on that count. It is required to be run consecutively. I'm going to run it consecutive to count one, but I am going to backload. Oh, I'm sorry, that is not commuted. That is 5 years to serve, and it's going to be run consecutively to count one, backloaded, by which I mean after you serve your 15 years of probation, if you have been successful on that probation, and I sincerely hope that you are, then at the end of that 15 years, I will commute the entire rest of any service portion of your sentence to time served. So I'll get to the end of it and give you the total sentence, but I'm also going to impose a $15,000 fine with regard to that count. Count 57, 20 years to serve 5, commuted to time served, the balance of 15 years probated, concurrent with count 1. Count 58, 10 years to serve 5, commuted to time served, balance probated, concurrent with count 1. 59, 5 years to serve, commuted to time served, concurrent with count 1. 60, 5 years to serve, commuted to time served, concurrent with count 1. Count 61, 5 years to serve, that is required to be also a consecutive sentence, so that's going to be run consecutively to count 56 and backloaded. Count 62, 10 years to serve, also required to be served consecutively, that's going to be consecutive to count 61, also backloaded. So essentially, the total sentence is 40 years to serve the first 5 years in prison, but commuted to the time that you have already served, followed by 15 years on probation, followed then by the backloaded 20 years, which can be served in custody and will be served in custody if you are not successful on your probation. If you are successful in completing your 15 years probation, that will be commuted to time served.
But I guess when you start your probation, it's got a stipulation in there where you can still travel and go into this, that, and the third. But that's a long time to not, from what I imagine, even though you can travel and still live your life, it doesn't give you any leeway when it comes to having any encounters with law enforcement. And to go 40 years without that, boy, that's a long time, huh? But at any rate, that's not how it came out. I explained what just happened. So Thug is coming home, man. And if you all have kept up with that case, that's where we got the likes of YSL Woody from.
He said, listen, the N would give me money.
What is N?
N-I-G-G.
Oh, nigga.
YSL was supposed to be in the prosecution's star witness, not witness, witness. He parlayed his position of I think he's a snitch. It's not even clear. It's not clear if Woody was a snitch or if he's like the greatest storyteller since some great storyteller. But it's like, because he'll get on the stand and he'll say, I'll tell you whatever you need me to tell you to ensure that I'm going to go home.
Why'd you destroy your shoulder?
Cause they my shoulders. I don't know how to answer these questions. I don't know what y'all got going on. Like, these questions you asking me, like, you discombobulated me up here. Yes.
What do you remember telling Kel?
Yes.
So you told Kel yes?
Yes,
Are you just saying yes now to speed up your questioning?
most definitely. I know I ain't complete school, but I think I'm speaking proper English. I don't recall nothing I said to no polices. You keep sitting right here asking me the same question over and over and over and over and over. I'm tired of it. I'm drained.
So again, will you just answer the questions and we can move the process along?
You keep asking. Okay, yes. I don't recall any conversation with Detective Durk. I don't recall. I don't recall. That what I said? I don't recall. Can you explain to me what I don't recall mean? Don't it mean like I don't remember, right?
So it's unclear, but what is clear that he definitely fumbled the case for the prosecutors. Now, maybe it was a diabolical scheme put together by him and Thug, which would be the stuff of legend for years to come. They should write a book and make a movie about this shit. That shit would be legendary in the hood if they really did this together to make it. You dig what I'm saying? Because it was really a shit show of a trial. I spoke on Judge Glanville that was eventually replaced with Judge Whitaker. You just have to watch all the footage of him just to get a load of again of who he is. You know, the main thing was that they ended up putting Woody like in a meeting, shackled and chained, as if he was a rapscallion of the world, and basically told him, if you don't go out here and say this script about what we're telling you to say, in which will implicate young Thug, young Jeffrey, then we're going to give you 25 years in the pen. Apparently, we don't know who the culprit was, but somebody close to his and close to that in that investigation, that whole event, leaked material to Ryan Steele, which is Young Thug's judge. He brought it up to the judge. The judge ended up trying to put him in jail for contempt and not telling him who gave him the information. And like I say, eventually Judge Glanville was replaced. And so I said then, Thug coming home. I thought it was going to be more like the top of the year, but we right here at the end of the year, so it almost worked out. But yeah, we'll clap for Thug, man. Now, I know a lot of things probably went on, in the course of his inner workings with that crew that some people out here like, how dare you clap for that? You know what I'm saying? We're not happy for that man. I don't know what he's guilty of, what he's innocent of. I just know what I see from the outside looking in. And from the case we saw that the prosecution tried to put together against that man, as flabby as it was, I have to applaud Brian Steele's effort, man, and getting this man off the hook. You dig what I'm saying? So, moving right along, let's stick with some good news. Real swift, real quick, man. Big Meech. I didn't know Meech was coming home. That was a surprise to me. You know what I'm saying? I won't lie about it. That was a surprise to me. I didn't know Meech was coming home. But, Detroit's notorious former organized crime leader, founder of the Black Mafia family, BMF drug trafficking syndicate. They ain't really have to put all of that in the paragraph, bro. Like, I guess I'm kind of lame for reading it too, because it make it sound like the man just, oh my God. Okay. Will complete the remainder of his prison sentence in the residential re-entry program in Miami. That sound player down in Miami. The Federal Bureau of Prisons revealed on Thursday. Flannery, 56, was granted early release nearly 20 years after receiving a 30-year sentence in 2008 for drug trafficking and money laundering, as reported by the AP News. So yeah, man, Meech is out of there, man. Like I said, I didn't know he was coming home. 20 years passed pretty damn fast, man, because I did not realize that the man had been in jail. Well, I guess at this point, it's not quite 20. It's right at, 15? So, yeah. Since him to 30, you do have, with the bread he had, you know what I'm saying, them lawyers can buy a lot of years off. So, Meech is at the crib, man. So, those are two people, you know what I'm saying, that, we can celebrate that those fellas are able to come home and get back with their family, man, and get back to business. Now, this last fella we're gonna talk about, it's not such the same plight for this fella here, man. He's a member of the Chicago Goon Association, huh? Lil Durk, man. Lil Durk seems to be involved in some nasty work. And from the sloppy way that we see this thing came together, man, it leaves, you know, at this point right now, man, it leaves little doubt. You dig what I'm saying? Now, there's a couple angles I can go as far as that I'm gonna go as far as talking about this whole thing, man. But Lil Durk was arrested here last week on charges stemming from this whole conspiracy plot to murder Quando Rondo, referred to as TB in this little write-up I'm read to y'all. I'm sure everybody heard about that. We know the King Von situation. So, you know, Lil Tim, and it's crazy, I guess everybody got Lil in their name. Lil Tim shoots and kills King Von one night when King Von is jumping on Quando Rondo. Now, if we want to just stop right there, you know, boom, that's where it started. And if I'm not mistaken, this started because of a beef with NBA Youngboy. NBA Youngboy and the Chicago outfit had some disagreements or what have you. Quando Rondo was signed to Youngboy and thrust himself into the middle of the smoke, and, you know, fast forward up to the fight. You know what I'm saying? They fighting outside of a club down in Atlanta. They go to the ground. Two skinny guys fighting each other, man. They should have just let them fight. It wasn't, from what I seen, it wasn't anybody jumping on anybody. Von scoped him out. He see him was there, made a beeline to him, go around the truck, around the car, what have you. Bro getting out the car, they go to fight. Like I said, they go to the ground. Maybe some of the video is cut from what I seen, but the next thing you kind of see is like Lil Tim. I think he gets shot. He kind of hopping around, moving around on the ground. He shoot Von in the back like 4 or 5 times, kill him, boom. All right, fast forward from there. Well, let's go to the read-up. Perfect jump off point. So, in response to Bennett's murder, Banks allegedly put a bounty on TB's life. Again, TB is Quando Rondo. On August 19th, 2022, several OTF members and associates used 2 vehicles and worked in tandem to track, stalk, and attempt to murder TB for hours, culminating in the shooting at the gasoline station located near the Beverly Center Mall. The co-conspirators fired at least 18 rounds at TB's vehicle, striking and killing the victim, identified in court documents as SR, who was TB's family member and had been traveling with TB. Banks allegedly ordered TB's murder, and the hitmen used money from Banks and OTF-related finances to carry out the hit. Bank and flight records show that an OTF member and close associate of Banks coordinated and paid for 5 co-conspirators to travel from Chicago to California on the day before the murder. Around the time the one-way flights were purchased, Banks told the OTF associate booking the flights, "Don't book no flights under no names involved with me." The same day the hitmen traveled from Chicago to California, Banks also traveled to California in a private jet with another conspirator, Kayvon London Grant, 28, a.k.a. Cuz, and Vonnie. Later that day, Grant allegedly purchased ski masks for the shooters to commit the murder and paid using a credit card in Banks' name for the other co-conspirators' hotel room. On Thursday morning, federal and local law enforcement in the Chicago area arrested Grant and 4 other defendants charged in a 4-count federal grand jury indictment, alleging their roles in the murder for hire plot. After law enforcement made the arrest and executed search warrants in Chicago, the FBI learned that Banks had been booked on 3 international flights scheduled to leave the United States on Thursday. When Banks arrived near one of the departing airports in Miami specifically, law enforcement personnel arrested him. In addition to Grant, the defendants charged in a separate indictment, which a grand jury returned on October 17th, are DeAndre Dontrell Wilson, 33, a.k.a. Didi of Chicago, Keith Jones, 33, a.k.a. Flocka of Gary, Indiana, David Brian Lindsay, 33, a.k.a. Brown Eyes of Addison, Illinois, and Asa Houston, 36, a.k.a. Boogie of Chicago. Speaking of that Gary, Indiana, I heard a wild story about a guy killed like 6 of his family members up in a rapper too. A rapper killed 6 of his family members up in Gary, Indiana because his daddy told him he was going to get in trouble about sneaking out and going to his girlfriend's house. I don't think he actually did anything to him. He just told Cuz he was going to get in trouble. Cuz grabbed a Drake on the 9. I'll do a show about it. Crazy business, nasty work, insane material. So yeah, man, a couple of things to pick out of this thing. So, all right. I sort of feel for, well, no. Is that what I want to say? I don't even think I want to say that I feel. I was going to say I feel for Durk because I feel like Durk. You know how they say, man, you know, when you get out the hood, you know, it should always trying to pull you back. You dig what I'm saying? I think Durk got pulled back because for a long time, nothing had went down with Quando Rondo and these boys. Now maybe Durk don't care. He don't seem like he cared that he may have got caught because it was very sloppy the way they put it together. But you know, you got the vibe for a while after King Von got killed. You got the vibe that, you know, nothing was gonna happen. That's what brought the trolls out. And you know, I can't even hold you, my nigga. Like the way the Chicago outfit come out, you know what I'm saying? When they hit the scene with this drill music, bro, it was just murder, kill. Shit's real in the battlefield. You know what I mean? Like these boys going, come on, man, and rapping about it. That's their thing. Kill somebody, rap about it, name a weed pack after it, and they go back and forth. You know what I'm saying? And you know, we glorified the drill music blew up, but with that comes like, why you ain't slime for fun? You know what I'm saying? The trolls is like, what's going on, Durk? Y'all talk all the goon material in your music, and your main hitter, the demon they describe him as. You know what I'm saying? But they call people like the demon and Reese the Grim Reaper. These niggas is wild, son. But it's like, okay, Von, you know what I'm saying? Why you ain't slide for Von?
Kavon Grant is the one who's accused of booking the hotels, getting the cars, buying the ski masks, finding weapons, including a gun that the government says had been modified into a full-on machine gun, which itself is a federal crime. And the indictment accused the defendants of following Quando Rondo's black Escalade around Los Angeles. And traffic camera, by the way, the photos, they show a white Infiniti following the Escalade until it pulls into a gas station, and the driver of the Infiniti parks behind the gas station in an alley. In the indictment, TB, by the way, refers to Taekwon Bowman, which is Quando Rondo's real name. SR is his cousin, who I mentioned before, Savai Robinson. And the indictment reads, on August 19th, 2022, at the Beverly gas station, defendants Jones and Lindsay and co-conspirator 2 used the firearms procured by defendant Grant, including the fully automatic firearm, to shoot at TB's car, striking and killing SR, who was standing next to TB's car while TB was inside. The images below show defendants Jones and Lindsay and co-conspirator 2 firing their guns at TB's black Escalade. And the filing includes surveillance photos of the suspects appearing to fire guns towards the gas pumps, again, in the middle of the day. And as I mentioned, Robinson was killed. Rondo, the alleged target of this hit, as I mentioned, wasn't heard.
And you know, let me tiptoe around this, because I ain't gonna say it's a good way to end someone's life, bro. I'm not saying that. But if that's indeed the game that they win, that's the game we playing, and Durk is like, yeah, I'm going to slide for him. It's like, bro, you could not have done it any more sloppily. You dig what I'm saying? You just here. On the same day, all of y'all flying out in separate little locations and separate flights, but the killers are getting rooms booked under your name, on your credit card, cars, and, you know, we got the little video,
This chaotic scene, the ending of a shooting that started in Beverly Grove. Sheriff's deputies pulling out a man who had been shot in an SUV. This man, a passenger in that car, frantic at the sight.
That shines more light on it, you know what I'm saying? But it's like, for such a high profile case, man, I got to feel like Durk, you know, maybe he's innocent. Maybe they just capping for the article, but they've indicted him, they've taken him in. But that doesn't mean that they really have, you know what I'm saying, like those documents as far as the rooms being rented in his name. I don't know if we can go for that hook, line, and sinker. But I can tell you what they do have. Out of these 4 people, Mr. Wilson and Mr. Jones, Mr. Lenz, and Mr. Houston, I would imagine they have someone that's given. Well, actually, who's the guy? OTF, is it? Jam? It's some guy. I saw King Academics talking about it. You did. And apparently this guy, he did about 12 years in the bang, but he's supposed to been wearing a wire for years. So maybe that's their inside source. But I would imagine out of these 4, you'd have somebody that's corroborating some kind of testimony, some kind of events, man. You know what I'm saying? And like this, the season for 2024 is almost out. But if you all remember, at the beginning of the year, Cat Williams did an interview on Shannon Sharp Club Shay Shay. Cat Williams said going digital this year. Now, I don't know if he was ahead of the curve and he was just that smart, or we have a social media driven world these days. So, you know, just like motherfuckers get on TikTok trends, you know, people, you inspire people to do things. So, you know, law enforcement could have been monitoring the webs and heard that and like, you know what, it's going down. We're going to get all of them too. You know what I'm saying? We're going to make some splashes out here. Diddy, it's countless others. I could go down the line. But this looks to be a bad look for Durk, man. And that's standing up to the code. Like I say, maybe he doesn't care. Maybe like I slid for my twin and whatever come after that. Because he didn't do it in a way that kept him out of harm's way. Again, not only were the rooms and cars in his name, he was in Cali at the time. He came that day. You did what I'm saying? Like, at least you should have stayed in Chicago, Durk. You know what I'm saying? They're like, boy, this man just won a Grammy earlier this year. And I don't really know other than, oh my life. I don't know if I really know any other songs from Durk. So I didn't know he was that hot, but apparently cuz hot. And his career apparently had, I will say every time I saw him, I was like, I kept seeing him evolve just as his persona. So I'm like, look like bro getting some money, you know what I'm saying? Apparently some kind of machine is working for him, but that looks to be in serious danger of coming to a halt. You dig what I'm saying? And if it's indeed true what we read, man, you know, you really can't have too much sympathy for him. You kind of have to joke on him because it's like, who does something so sloppy around something so high profile? Like, come on, cuz. Crash dummy type of material. You understand what I'm saying? Diabolical work, man. So I hope that, you know, I don't know if I could, because, you know, Lil Pap got family and I'm sure they want to see justice. So who am I to say that I hope somebody is innocent of this, that, and the third? I just report on the facts as I ascertain them, and I bring them to him, put my spin on them, man. So if he was indeed that sloppy about it, then the punishment may be severe. It may be severe, man. And those Chicago guys, I feel that they may have put a target on them as far as just making an example out of somebody that's out here super gooning it up. Because them Chicago niggas kill a nigga for a minute, be like, for real. But that's where we at with it, man. So 2 people home, Thug and Meech at the crib. Lil Durk was almost out the country. I heard bro was headed to Italy. And they nabbed him up right there before he got on the flight. PJ type status, man. So he almost pulled a Russell Simmons, man. But unfortunately, it didn't go his way. So as I find some new developments and all that, I'll put them together and bring them a show to y'all. What did I just say? As I come up with new developments, I'll put a show together and bring it to you all. But until then, this has been That Way with Jack Travis. Get at your boy. Loud.